Hey, Billy Glisan with Powercore 360. In today's video, we're going to break down one of the best hitters in the world. World-class mechanics and power at its finest. Super dynamic.
All right, here we go. A little analysis of one of the top hitters in the world. Let's see what top world-class mechanics look like. First thing we're going to look at is his footwork. And let's pay attention to the second to the last step there with the right foot. Most importantly, look what happens when that left foot hits the ground. I want you to notice how it turns his hips and pelvis and shoulders kind of towards the right antenna. When he comes in initially, he's square. His belly button, his pelvis, his chest is kind of square, parallel with the net. But he puts that last foot down and his hips and shoulders start to turn a little bit to the right. As he goes up into the air right now, once again, you'll notice that his belly button's kind of pointing over here towards the right antenna. Then watch what happens. His chest and shoulders are going to turn to the right sideline. That turning of the chest and shoulders to the right sideline creates a stretch through the abdominal muscles. That stretch creates all kinds of power that comes from your abdominal muscles, your core muscles, right? In the training world, we call that a stretch shortening cycle. And when that happens fast, you get all kinds of power to create body torque, if you would. And it's torque that's going to then be added to the arm speed to hit the ball harder. So getting those chest and shoulders open to the right sideline, belly button stays kind of on the right antenna. In this case, creates world-class power from his abdominal area, from his core to hit the ball harder. All right, a couple other things I want you to notice here. Also world-class mechanics. You see his feet are up behind the body. They're kind of bent like this. There's the right leg. The other leg's bent as well. That's what world-class athletes do. They actually pull their feet up behind their body. The thighs are straight. And that starts to create a stretch through the thigh muscles, the quad muscles, and hip flexor muscles. That's going to become important because as this chest continues to turn to the right sideline, we create a stretch from his right chest and shoulder, and I'll try to make him bigger here so you can see this. We create a stretch from the right chest and shoulders right here that goes across the chest, goes down across in front of the abdomen. This would be in front of the body, and it's actually going to go down to his left hip, right, from over here. And basically what happens is then you get this big stretch in the elastic tissues, muscles, fascia, from the right shoulder across the chest, across the abs, across the left hip and pelvis, down into the left quad, left thigh. When that happens, you are stretching, and like an elastic band that's stretching and you let it go, you're creating all kinds of what's called potential energy, stretch energy. And what happens is he's up in this world-class position called a reverse power C. We call it a reverse power C because it kind of looks like this. It looks like a capital C flipped backwards here. The best hitters in the world get into that position, and what it does is it stretches all these elastic tissues and muscles. All right, so he's going to start to unwind from this position by extending the knees, which happens when he kicks the feet, and that starts to rotate his body from the right sideline, right antenna. He kicks his feet, and there's a sequence that happens. The hips turn. The turn of the hips now through the abdominal muscles pulls on the rib cage. You can see the chest and ribs starting to turn through from right to left. All this is now added to his arm. He's using the power from his entire body to wind up and rotate to the right and then unwind, rotating to the left, which creates arm whip. He takes the strength through his chest, his arm, his tricep, his shoulder, and he adds that to the power of the body, right? Really cool that he's creating all this rotational power. This is awesome. All right, one thing that's really cool about this view looking from the back side is I want you to notice something right here, right about contact, right before contact. I want you to look at this relationship of his right arm being over his left leg, right? And so you see the best hitters in the world, male or female, they also get into this position, right? And what happens is in this position, now you see the green line, that's the shoulder line. So now the right shoulder is actually higher than the left. That's different from where he was just a few thousandths of a second ago in the air, right? His left shoulder was tilted higher than the right. Now the right shoulder's tilted higher than the left. This allows, by him tilting his body sideways, where he gets his right arm over his left leg, it allows his arm and shoulder, his upper arm there, to be in line with the shoulder line. That allows his shoulder to turn, create all kinds of shoulder torque, forces, if you would, in a rotational fashion, to hit the ball harder, because we're trying to get arm speed ultimately from all these movements. when you keep the upper arm in line with the shoulder moves in a position that it can tolerate the forces and torques put on it by this kind of an arm swing. Tilting the body, right arm over left leg, also basically what it does is from his hips up through his spine, you can see there in that purple line, his whole body is tilted to the left. Once again, we talked about what that does in allowing the shoulder to work and tolerate the increased torque and arm speed it's going to be developed. But this also allows his spine, we call it his axis of rotation. It allows him to rotate around that spine. By getting his right arm over his left leg, tilting his body, he's going to turn fast. In a tilted position, the arm's going to work in a good position, the shoulders and spine, everything's going to rotate in positions or in areas of movement, if you would, that they're going to be well tolerated. So you're going to increase arm speed, increase torque of the shoulder and spine, and tolerate it. Oftentimes we hear coaches telling young athletes, oh, you shouldn't tilt. Well, if you don't tilt and you rotate your body, you're going to hit the ball and you're going to pull a lot of balls out of bounds left side. If you're a right-handed hitter on the left side, you can tend to hit the balls way over here. You're going to hit a lot of balls out of bounds over there versus if you actually tilt your shoulders like he's got it tilted. Look at the green line. You know, his shoulders are tilted. He can actually hit through the center of the ball, right? Center, I'm talking about left to right. He's hitting through the center of the ball. And so actually contacts the ball. Then the ball can go in a position or a direction with power and with speed. And in this case, you can see the top spin on the ball as that ball drops, comes down. But that's key. That these body positions, right arm over left leg, allows that. Shoulders in a great position. Spine's in a great position to wind up and unwind, rotate around the shoulder, rotate around the spine, and just pound the ball. I want you to notice after he contacts the ball that the hand goes exactly what we teach in the direction we want the ball to go, right? Initially, it goes through the center of the ball. The hand goes in the direction he wants the ball to end up. Looks like a deep 5 or deep 6 zone shot on the other side. But look at the body continuing to rotate from right to left. When you wind up and you open your hips and pelvis to the right antenna, right sideline, and then you unwind, you're rotating your whole body. Well, there's a lot of rotation that's occurring there to create that body torque and ultimately arm speed and ball speed. But the hand is going to go through the ball, and then it's going to follow through where? In this case, it's going down to his left hip, just like a professional pitcher in baseball who's throwing 90 or 100 miles an hour. Look where his right hand is. It's on the left side of his body. That allows the muscles on the back side of the body to help slow his arm down. Let me give you a visual of that. And as I give you this visual, I want you to understand when we look at baseball as a sport, the way the shoulder and arm works is most injuries to the shoulder in baseball, throwing a ball overhead, do not happen as the arm is speeding up. They happen when the arm is slowing down on the deceleration phase. When you throw a ball overhead or hit a ball overhead and you allow your rotation of your body to allow the hand and shoulder and arm to rotate to the left side of the body after the hands went to the target, the muscles on the back side of the body will help slow this arm down and reduce the stress on the shoulder, reduce pain, reduce the risk of injury. So we have muscles on the back side of the shoulder that are attached to the shoulder blade, go down across the arm from the shoulder blade, through the muscles, through the fascia, the elastic tissue, go into the left hip, and then they actually go across, I'm going to draw another line here, they actually go across the buttocks muscles into there, right? And then they can continue to go down to the elastic tissues into the left thigh, back and left side, lateral side of the left thigh. All those tissues basically stretch to help slow the arm down. Even though they're not anywhere near the arm, they're connected through elastic tissues, fascia, the muscles, the tendons will all help slow that arm down. The rotation of the body is key with that. Now, here's something else. Let's continue to watch this. As he gets ready to start to land, you're going to notice that it's not a great landing. I don't love a one-footed landing, but I want you to notice the rotation of the body. Belly button's almost to the left antenna, chest is almost to the left sideline, right? Look at how much rotation he has. What we teach our athletes is we want you, when you're learning how to create a rotational swing to your arm through the body, your belly button ought to be facing over here to the left antenna when you land. That's what we're searching for. Of course, for us, we want a two-footed landing to take the risk of an ankle, knee, or hip injury, especially a knee injury like ACL or meniscus. We want them landing on 2 feet. But if you look at everything on the landing here, I mean, this is just as good as it gets. This is dynamic, it's athletic, it's explosive, it's rotational. He winds up, gets up in that reverse power C, unwinds, rotates, body torque, arm torque, ball is getting crushed. Hitting downward, but he's not just hitting a diagonally down ball. I want you to notice, look at the flight of this ball. And I want you to notice here that as this ball goes down, it's not just going straight down like this. It's actually going over, and it's curving, and it's arcing because he's hitting a top spin ball, right? It goes down into the ground, and he's got all kinds of velocity. He's got all kinds of hops, but he wants to be able to hit this ball hard with top spin to get it to go with pace, with velocity, and drop in the court and score. So this is a world-class swing. Hope all the athletes out there can see this and learn from this.
If you like it, hit the like down below. Subscribe to our channel if you want more videos like this. If you want further information about our programs, our clinics, anything else about Powercore 360, go to powercore360.com.